Hello, Citybiz viewers. This is Carol Morgan here in Atlanta. I'm the founder and president of Denim Marketing. We specialize in quality content for social media, media relations, blogging, email marketing, and more. We work nationally for home builders, land developers, investment firms, commercial real estate companies, and many others. One client that we work with continues to impress me, Terra Alma. It's a woman-owned boutique commercial real estate firm. And I am very fortunate to be joined in studio today by Edie Weintraub. She is the founder of Terra Alma. Welcome to the show, Edie.
Thank you so much, Carol, for having me, and thank you for Citybiz for hosting us.
Absolutely. Well, Edie, I know you as the insatiably curious commercial real estate professional. You've got a great eye for emerging neighborhoods. I'm constantly impressed with the projects you work on, and not just you and your staff, but your clients as well. Everybody's so creative, and it's always something so much fun and innovative. And, I think that you and I like to say that you're always turning spaces into places. So I'm looking forward to talking more about this today on the show. Do you want to just start off with talking a little bit about, what you wanted to be when you grew up? Because I've noticed your degree is in biology, which is kind of seems like it's a long way away from commercial real estate.
Oh, for sure. It is. So I actually loved science all throughout growing up and started very early in the world of working. I worked for my dentist every single day throughout high school, after school, and what intended to be a half-a-day Saturday became a full-day Saturday because in New Jersey, the folks that worked in New York City didn't feel it was appropriate to go to the dentist Monday through Friday, so Saturday was the day to call in for emergency root canals and such. And through working in the dental industry, I realized as a dental assistant from the time I was 15 until the time I finished up college, that it was a great opportunity for me to support myself and make some money and learn. But what I really loved about that is the welcoming nature. So I welcomed the patients in. I had everything set up. I was making sure they were comfortable during the procedures and then walked them out. And one day when it was time for me to apply to go to dental school, I sat back and I realized I don't really want to go to dental school. I'm here for the people. And while I was going through that process as well, I also took up a job as a server and then a hostess in the world of restaurants and quickly realized I did not like getting dirty. I didn't know all my alcohols. I said, you know what, I should just become a hostess. So combined with my love of people on the science and dentistry side with being a hostess at a restaurant, I said I need to kind of figure out a path to put those together and ultimately ended up in boutique, retail, and restaurant real estate.
Oh, that is a really cool story. Well, I guess expand a little bit. What first attracted you to commercial real estate? And, how did you end up in this space from dentistry?
Yes. So my father was the one who really kind of planted the seed and said, you're so good with people. Here you're in dentistry. I was a paralegal at a law firm for a period of time and realized I did not want to go to law school because I felt like being in med mal and family law, people were mean. And I wanted to come back to what made people good. So he supported me in getting my real estate license, and I started in residential. And I loved the independence. I loved the self-motivation. As you mentioned earlier, I'm insatiably curious. And so I would drive around to different markets and neighborhoods. And while I liked the residential, I did not like the emotional aspect of it. What I felt like, the wife wanted, the husband wanted, what was on the market, what they could afford. It's hard to get all those pieces put together. And it was a much more of an emotional decision. So one of our family friends was a partner at a local Atlanta-based boutique real estate firm. And so, once I got my license, I was in real estate, residential real estate for about a year. I called them and I met with them. And for every single month for 18 months until they decided, okay, Edie, we get it. You're tenacious. You will not accept no for an answer. We really need to take you on and be part of the team. So I did meet with a couple folks in industrial and office, but I found that my love of people and my love of exploring new neighborhoods really was a much better fit for the world of retail. So that's now almost 20 years ago.
I know. I was looking at your LinkedIn profile. You've had some really cool jobs and worked at some really neat commercial real estate firms. What drives that passion, your passion for commercial real estate?
This is my new tagline, and it's fitting that the new movie just came out. But having grown up loving Disney movies, I tell everybody I'm like Ariel from The Little Mermaid. I want to be where the people are, where they're dancing and singing and laughing and having a good time. And so when I opened Terra Alma, that was really, the fuel behind it is focusing on local and emerging restaurants and brands throughout the Southeast. But then conversely, on the owner and developer side, working with owners and developers, given our experience with local and emerging brands, educating them on how to attract those types of operators. And my theory has always been, if you put the right coffee shop or restaurant at the base of a multifamily building or in a development, you're going to get that regular nature, very much like the show Cheers, where you walk in and everybody knows your name. And if you put the right operators there, then they'll know, that barista at the local coffee shop is going to know the tenants and the residents above their order. And they'll say, "Hey, Carol, so great to see you this morning. I see it's about 17. You're right on track for your day. Double espresso, shot of cream. I got you." And so building that community by having those connections is just, it gives me chills even to talk about. So our team really focuses on, local, emerging, adaptive reuse brands that create community.
Yeah, absolutely. You guys do a fantastic job of that. Well, you worked for a number of different companies. What inspired you to go out on your own in 2021 and launch Terra Alma?
Yeah, definitely not the right time in the course of history to open a new boutique real estate firm. I was in a boutique retail only firm for a good period of time. They had 21 offices throughout the Southeast and really enjoyed being with them. I think for me, I really wanted to focus on those local emerging brands, consult with developers. And so I said, you know what, I need to go get a flavor of what it looks like at a big global firm. And I did that for about 2 years. And I think a big global firm, there's so much that they offer, so many service lines, so many people throughout the world. And I wanted to just bring it back to a more personal relationship with our clients. So for our clients, we not only serve as site selection or development consulting, we also kind of guide them through what it's like to be a business owner. And so in addition to finding a location or to guide them on leasing and marketing, we're really all about telling the story, whether that's telling the story of the property within a specific neighborhood or telling the story of why you built your business. So I think for me, it's, going through that whole process with our clients and be able to help, navigate and express and tell their story that inspires my team and I.
Yeah, well, I'm fortunate to have the opportunity to interview a lot of your clients. And I can say, and you know this already, they all say amazing things about you and your team and what you bring to the table and the connections you make and the guidance you give. So I can support that 100%. It's also interesting that you've really chosen, there's so many areas of commercial real estate and you've really, kind of honed it down. And I would say you've kind of honed it down to all the things that those of us as consumers love about commercial real estate. We love the wellness aspect. We like our local spa and our, workout facility, and then the, food and beverage, and even the entertainment. How did you pick this niche specifically?
I'm going to go back to Ariel now. I think it's about the holistic nature of, what makes people smile? What do they enjoy doing? And so really focusing on opportunities and brands that bring people together. Again, whether it's on the property side or the tenant side, these are people that then get to pay it forward. So I'll give you an example is Alex Kinjo. Alex Kinjo has built many restaurants throughout Atlanta and even throughout the South. And you walk in his space and you feel like you've been transported, right? It's a very beautiful, inviting space. Everything that he does is very small, intimate, and joyful. So you don't feel like you're walking into this massive space and you're just a number. You are really part of his family, and he welcomes you into his restaurant, his living room, his kitchen. And so we've taken a very similar approach because we want to have that warmth and that connection with the people we work with. So I feel like it's very holistic, right? You're going to the gym, you're getting your hair done, all these things that build endorphins. And so that's really what we're focused on.
That's fantastic. And that's a great example. He's got that, 12-seat sushi bar that's in Midtown that's so popular. So yeah, Alex is a great example. Well, the other thing you're passionate about is women and promoting women in business and promoting women in the commercial real estate space. So as a woman-owned company, how have you focused on, hiring and empowering women, and why is this important?
Well, I'm thankful to have a great support system behind me. And I think that with 85% of all consumer purchases being made by women, it is important for us to be involved in the decision-making power of creating a neighborhood, building a community, deciding what restaurants, shops, services go in there. And so I just feel like it's our time now to be a little bit more vocal about how development is shaped. I think historically, it's been off of the back of a spreadsheet and what, cap rates are and what I can sell this for. And I feel like there needs to be a lot more love that goes into the thoughtful curation of building a space that brings people together. And through that, I thought we're the ones who are able to make that voice known.
Well, we're definitely the ones who are spending the money and deciding what's for dinner and deciding what tie, the guy is wearing with the suit and all those different things. I know it's a conversation you and I have a lot. So kudos to you. We'll talk a little bit. I think we've already touched on some of this, but, kind of summarize, how is Terra Alma different from other commercial real estate firms?
Absolutely. Well, I've had to peek behind the curtains at a couple of them before forming Terra Alma. So I kind of sat down as I was putting the company together and thinking through, one, the name, right? I was not, focused on having it be, Edie Weintraub and Associates. I wanted it to be perhaps something that could live beyond me and really be warm and inviting for others. So just starting with the name, Terra is dirt, grounded, it's Italian, and Alma is soul. So the first filter of anyone that joins our team or any clients that we work with is, do we want to put a piece of our soul, our energy into this opportunity? And so second from there, our team is everything and collaborative. So everything is open book. We share all of our files with one another. We quite haven't had any issues pop up with any issues in regards to sharing information, but if we did, we would address it at that time. But I think, to be collaborative inspires us all to think a little bit differently. So every Monday we meet, talk about who we're working on this week, who we're touring with, any new projects that we want to make sure that our team is aware of. So I think first and foremost, being collaborative and making sure that we're all growing, right? It's all about good karma. If we're helping out our partner and our team, it's going to come back to us tenfold. So that's, a primary focus for us.
Yeah. Absolutely. Well, talk a little bit, kind of getting a little bit more in the weeds on how you work with clients. And you alluded a little bit to it earlier that, you might work with a restaurateur, but you might work with a person who owns, the business as well. So talk about both aspects of that.
Yeah, no, we really, for our first meeting, as we're meeting someone, oftentimes they're being referred to us by someone else that we know. So that is something that we're very grateful for. But for us, the first path is really digging into and understanding their business and their target consumer. So, for example, there is a very high-end steakhouse out of the state of Washington in Seattle, and they said, "Hey, we're interested in working together. We want you to come and see what cities we could possibly pursue." So I said, "Well, it starts with me coming to visit you and understanding who you are and your brand and story, so that as I translate that to whatever city we're going to pursue, really need to dig into who your customer is, why you've laid out your restaurant the way you have." And so I'm very early to make sure that I truly dig in and understand who their target customer is, and then try to push them in a little bit to see if they've got any flexibility, to see what breadth they have, and study them, help them understand how we work and the story that we need to tell. So our team has an in-house creative director who's in charge of putting together a brand book. So for established groups, this is helpful, but it takes another layer because we're basically creating a brand book that serves up to a prospective developer or landlord who we are, what we do, who our focus is, and why we can help drive additional traffic to their property. And so it makes it as though the developer, the landlord, can't say no to us because we've given them exactly what they look for in presenting to their team and perhaps to their investors, that we just try to alleviate that pain point for them to make it as easy as possible for us to move forward with negotiation.
Yeah. That's cool. Well, what are some of your favorite kinds of projects? You want to give us an example or two?
Oh, absolutely. So my team and I had the pleasure of working with Chattahoochee Food Works. So we brought them in from New York City and scouted an opportunity for them in Atlanta. And unfortunately, our operator was traveling about. And while I had introduced him to a couple of operators, I said, you know what? Why don't you just let me tackle this? I'm here, I'm based in Atlanta. I'll meet with a handful of vendors. And so from June of 2020 to April of 2021, I met at least 20 people a week, showing them the spaces at Chattahoochee Food Works while we were under construction. And living there in the space without the people seeing it and diners and shoppers and such, to see it transform to when it was open to the public gave me so much joy, because something that I had worked so hard on for so long, finally the public got to see and enjoy. And so just seeing again those smiling faces just made me so happy. And then second to that, conversely on the other side, I'm very excited. There's a project that we're going to be working on in downtown Chamblee, and it had previously been a deer feed facility. It's got a big tower on it. It's got some silos. And to be able to have the ability to get the support from the local municipality to transform that property into adaptive reuse development, adding some new but keeping some old, I'm very excited about that. We're still at the very early stages, but excited to share more when we can. But to transform an existing structure into an entertainment and community gathering space, again, just right up our alley.
Yeah. And I know you work a lot with main streets and adaptive reuse. And list a couple of the other types of projects you work on.
Oh, so we're working on a project right now, actually two projects for the same group, one in downtown Norcross and one in downtown Lilburn, both of which are on the main streets of the corridor. And it gives me some joy to think that this is the evolution of the old rail cities throughout the states. Atlanta has always been known as a terminus where multiple rail lines would come together. So to see the continual evolution of those municipalities through local business owners who believe in, being able to get out of your car and bike or walk down the street to a great restaurant or boutique or coffee shop, just again, another opportunity to bring the community together.
Yeah, absolutely. The walkability in your projects and some of the projects that I've gotten the pleasure of seeing you, bring out of the ground, where you can go eat dinner and then you can enjoy entertainment sitting outside, and then you can go have some ice cream, and you can really make a whole, afternoon or a whole day of it, because there's so much to do. And that's what everybody's looking for now, somewhere they can go and just be and chill and enjoy and socialize and have some great food and spend good time with friends. So kudos for all of that. Well, before I ask you for how we can, contact you, is there anything I haven't asked you that you'd like to add?
Yeah, I think, we continue to have the discussion amongst the team about adding some new members to our growing brokerage. So I think, come another 6 months from now, we'll be looking to grow and expand our team. So if anyone's, watching, we have a lot of fun, right? We're very collaborative. Every other week, we go out on a market tour and study a market. So that way you get to learn the history, plus also what's coming, and perhaps scout it for the clients that our team represents. And then conversely, the other 2 weeks, we get together for breakfast, lunch. We explore a new community or restaurant. And then something that we're going to be instituting, I believe next month, is we're going to be hosting an every other month dinner. Some for prospective clients, some for existing clients, and just, having a little bit more of a social setting to perhaps showcase one of our clients, but again, also an emerging restaurant that we're excited to welcome to Atlanta.
That's fantastic. What fun opportunities. So yeah, anyone who's listening or watching who is interested in, starting a new job or changing jobs, keep Terra Alma in mind. Well, for those watching and listening, all of our loyal Citybiz followers, where can they reach you for more information?
Absolutely. Our website is always a great place to start. That's Terra Alma, TerraAlma.com. But we're also very active on social media. We like to be where our clients are. And so with many of our clients in the creative space and development, we are on Instagram, we're on TikTok, and we're on Facebook. So all again within the genre of Terra Alma, TerraAlma.
Excellent. Well, thank you to all of our Citybiz listeners for joining us today and tuning in. We look forward to having Edie back in the future to share more about what's going on with her and Terra Alma and all their success. Thank you so much. We appreciate it.
Thank you so much for having me.
Absolutely.